There was no rest on this long weekend for all four major provincial party leaders. Each of them were busy holding events, some virtually, as we are now less than 2 weeks away until Election Day. Liberal leader Stephen Del Duca in Toronto today addressing recent carjackings that have troubled the city, hosting an event in the same spot of a high-profile carjacking of Leaf star Mitch Marner that happened this week.
People are gravely concerned about issues relating to community safety.
Del Duca announcing that if elected, the Liberals plan to launch a provincial auto theft task force to tackle carjackings driven by organized crime, in addition to banning handguns across the province and hiring more police officers to help curb the spike in violence. The Liberal leader also took the opportunity to take a jab at the Conservatives, saying the rise in violence in the GTA is due to inaction by the Ford PCs.
Where's Doug Ford been on this issue? He's been absolutely silent. Absolutely missing in action, absolutely gone into hiding on an issue that is spiraling out of control on his watch.
Ontario Progressive Conservative leader Doug Ford made his way west down the 401 to London for a housing announcement. Ford saying if re-elected, the PCs will increase affordability by boosting housing supply and reducing red tape. Ford says his government will build 1.5 million homes over 10 years.
Working with municipal partners, we're going to update our housing supply action plan every year so we can get more homes built faster. And we're going to continue to advance our transit-oriented community program so we can build more homes closer to transit.
The Residential Construction Council of Ontario, a group which represents home builders, is throwing their support behind Doug Ford, joining a number of trade organizations to endorse the PCs. Meanwhile, NDP leader Angia Horwath held a remote event after testing positive for COVID-19 earlier this week. Today, the NDP announcing their intention to fix the nursing shortage in Scarborough by filling the current 186 nursing vacancies and adding 1,200 new nurses at Scarborough hospitals.
Today, we're talking about how healthcare is broken in Scarborough. It didn't get there just over the past 4 years. Healthcare is broken in Scarborough because 15 years of the Liberal government broke healthcare. They froze hospital budgets, they cut hospital budgets, they fired nurses, and Doug Ford is doing the exact same thing.
Also in isolation due to COVID infection, Green Party leader Mike Schreiner. Speaking remotely, Schreiner announced the Ontario Greens local food and farming strategy, which would immediately cancel all plans for Highway 413, provide financial support for sustainable farmers, and introduce a mandatory grocery code of conduct to clamp down on predatory pricing.
Greens are the only party with new solutions to support local farmers, the agri-food economy, and address the skyrocketing prices of groceries. We have the leadership to deliver on a more affordable, healthy, prosperous, and climate-ready Ontario.
Advanced poll stations are now up and running between the hours of 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. The general election in Ontario is on June 2nd.